Hello, everyone. My name is Stanley St. Rose, and today we're going to be talking about The Rights of Man by Thomas Paine. Now, before I go into the summary and analysis of this work, please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and/or comment so the channel can continue to grow. All right, The Rights of Man by Thomas Paine. Very interesting work here. Basically, Thomas Paine is writing about revolutions. I mean, this work really helps us understand why revolutions are necessary. Think about the French Revolution, because when you look at a monarchy, when you look at royalty, um, especially during that era, whenever you have a king, the king holds all the power. They make all the decisions. And all kings, pretty much all of the power usually goes to their heads, you know. A king does whatever he wants, you know. A king could literally go in and says, bring me all the young, beautiful women and I'm gonna have a harem, and it's done. I mean, you still have kingdoms on earth today, and things like that they happen. I mean, kings have absolute power. Yeah, they're pretty much worshipped like gods. I mean, think of North Korea, and you can do some research on that and see how um, the royalty, the royals are treated. They can pretty much do whatever they want. They're treated like gods. And for a long time on Earth, that's how it was. Kingdoms, you had one king, and the king, whatever the king said, that's what happened. If you didn't listen to the king, if you didn't follow the king's orders, you were killed. That was just life on Earth. But here with this work, The Rights of Man, it's all about creating these governments, creating these societal institutions or a structure of society where it's, governments that work for the people. It's where the government or society has these systems where you have welfare, state welfare, pensions for the old, certain types of welfare programs that will help people in need. The rights of man, it's the idea here, or the central idea is that, people are born, we're not, we have our natural ability to have freedoms, to be independent, to govern ourselves. No one is born to be a king. That's what Thomas Paine is saying here. No one is born to be a king and govern other people. Because when you think about it, the way that royalty works is that you have a king, and then that king's son becomes the king. And what if he's dumb? What if he's insane? What if he's have some type of mental problem? And now you put that person as the head of your country, and they get to do whatever they want. They get to kill whoever they want, and they could be influenced by whoever they want. It just doesn't work. I mean, you might be lucky and get a good king that does the right things, but there comes a time where you might get just a dumb person at the helm that just stops at nothing to just demolish the people. And the history has shown us this. We've gotten several rulers in Europe, and other countries, that show us, if they're not built for the job, they will just start killing people by massive numbers. Think about the French Revolution. Think about the monarchs that were in France. I mean, France just had some bloody revolutions, man. They just, wow. Let them eat cake, Let them eat cake. You know what I mean if you know French history. Let them eat cake. So pretty much, with revolutions, with Thomas Paine here, he's in favor of revolutions because he's saying that if the monarchy, if the kings and queens, if they're not protecting the people, if they're not protecting the rights of the people, if they're tyrants, they should be overthrown, and the people should have that power to overthrow them. And the people are going to take that power because if you have a king that's not doing his job, the people, they're not going to just sit there and be destroyed and killed and have all their money, all their property taken away. They're going to overthrow that king automatically. I mean, America did this. Several countries in Europe did this. Um, you know, America was just tired of the British, and the colonies were like, nah, we're done. We're done. And there you go, another revolution. So human beings, listen, we can take hardship, or we can take times that are hard. But when a king becomes a tyrant, believe me, the people are gonna find some way or another to overthrow that king, kill that king, and start up, their own government. Because there has to be a structure of existence. I mean, we have to have a way to govern ourselves. We have to have a rule of law. We have to have a social contract, because that's how that's how we survive. We cannot live like savages and every man for themselves, because once you have that, it just becomes, you do something wrong and you get killed. And as humans, we've come to see that no matter what style of government you believe in, whether it is socialism, capitalism, or whatever you may like, maybe you like monarchy. Um, we just we've come to the realization as human beings that we do need some type of government um, to exist or to function. And for the most part, what humans we've come to agree with is that a government that serves the people, that's for the people, where we have rights, where we have abilities, inalienable rights, to pursue liberty, happiness. That's something that all humans love. I mean, that's why America is so popular, because people are given certain rights that cannot be taken away. And we've argued, and we have philosophers and European philosophers that even say, like, we have these rights that all people should have. The ability to govern yourself with some limitations, of course. We have all types of freedom of speech, and many countries recognize freedom of speech. Not all, but a lot. So rights are important, right? Due process is important. Things like that are important, and that's what Thomas Paine is arguing with in this work here. That human beings, we need to have a society. We need to have a government where we have certain freedoms, where the government serves the people, and it's not monarchy, because he's saying that monarchy, the kings get out of control, they become tyrants, they don't focus on the people, and if that's the case, then they should be overthrown. And a lot of modern countries agree with that realization, with that reality. So in terms of deeper meaning analysis, this is a very interesting work. It's recognizing and showing us that there are certain things. I mean, it doesn't have to be a particular government. This work is not saying, this particular government over all governments. It's just saying that monarchy is not it, especially for human beings, because we're not perfect. Kings are not perfect. Humans are humans. Humans have a range of emotions, and greed, um, pride, all things like that can get into the head of a king, and make him do horrible decisions. But if you have a government that has multiple components, and the government is structured to serve the people rather than the other way around, it's oftentimes better, than it's better than a monarchy, for humans, of course. Um, that's all I have to say about this work. Please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and/or comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Gallery.